How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get that imagination all revved up. It's time to get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Tom Fowler. If you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful artist. I think he's got such a great imagination. He's worked on Prince of Persia. He's worked with Mad Magazine. I believe he's done some work with I forget if it was DC or Marvel as well, but he's done some great stuff. But the thing that I love about him is it seems like every project that he works on, he brings something new and different to it, even if it's a franchise that's been around for a long time. And I think that's a great way to be, because you can tell that that particular style or that uniqueness of that person is brought out in no matter what situation he's in. So definitely check out more from him. I will throw a link down in the description below. I really love this one. I thought this was a great little character here. I'd love to see more of this character. I think it's really unique, kind of a mix of like an anteater. Yeah, really cool. And again, just this is more of a finished piece of his rather than sketchwork, which I tend to find more interesting for myself. But I think the coloring is great on here. Line work's really superb. Anatomy is spot on. And great overall composition as well. But yeah, look at these creatures. They're so great, and got a really strong anatomy under it. I love it when you see these fantastical or whimsical or otherworldly like creatures, but there's enough that's familiar to us for anatomy, and it feels solid and structural and everything underneath it, so it adds that extra layer of believability to it as well. So that said, I wanted to share a quote with you guys from him as well, and that was, I don't really care about trying to tailor my style to whatever someone thinks is more sellable, hot, or the house style of the day. I just draw what I draw, how I draw it, and I'm far happier now to do that. And I think that's a great way to be. To stick to your guns, to stick to your style, and not worry about what's popular right now or what's selling right now. And I mean, if you're doing creative stuff, sometimes you have to do little bits of compromise to make a living. But I think it's important to remember to be uniquely you and to bring your style into everything you do, even if it's maybe a job that you wouldn't necessarily go for. Try and add a little bit of your style into it so that it's something that you can stand behind and put your name on it and be happy with it at the end of the day. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is I believe it's Mad 3R rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash, and I will throw a link in the description below to this rig and also to more stuff about Tom Fowler if you guys want to check out his work. And I just found out that he did some work on a Prince of Persia novel that I'm going to have to try and get my hands on, because I'm a huge Prince of Persia fan, so definitely check that out as well. If you're not familiar with the channel or these videos, what we'll be doing for the next half an hour to an hour, sometimes a little bit over, we give ourselves usually 48 frames or 2 seconds of animation. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with, and we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of instruction or guidance or talking through the thought process of how things work. And overall, the main goal of these videos is to encourage you guys to go off and create your own stuff, whether it's because you agree with something I did, or we talked about a subject that sparked something in you, or we saw a visual, or you tried a different rig, or for whatever reason, or if you disagree with me, or don't like something that I did, and you think of a better way to do it, or for whatever reason. My whole goal is to hopefully inspire you guys to go off and create your own stuff. And if you do, feel free to share it down below as well. And I can definitely give you some encouragement or some extra set of eyes or whatever you're looking for as well. Just let me know in the comments down below as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get in here and do some animation. If you've been following along for the month of November, we've been doing Jump-vember, which is a jump animation every day for the month of November. And we'll go ahead and do a little more of that today. We're almost at the end of the month, which is ridiculous. Actually, it's the 21st. I guess I'm a few days ahead here, but usually work a few days ahead. But still, getting pretty close. So as the end for this one, we make it a little more mechanical since it is kind of a robot here. But let's have it leap up and float over and land. So a little less of an arc here, and we'll play around with our timing a little bit here because it's a robot as well. So we can shoot straight up kind of do a little recoil, and then go forward and back a little bit, and then go back down. So let's see if we can't build that into here. So it'll be like, I'm trying to see how big we want to make this. I'd like this to be a little bit higher, but I don't want to get too far back in order to get everything in frame. So let's keep it about there. Let's go ahead and see if we can make a little more of an interesting pose here. Pull that down a little bit. Rotate that up. Bring the arms back a little bit. Bring that up a little bit more. Let's do a little more splay on these feet here. Go ahead and push one back. Pull one forward a little bit. Maybe not as much. Because we'll probably be going for more of a side view, so we want to try and work from there. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and bring that down a little more forward. And we'll rotate it a little more up. Okay. Maybe we need to go a little bit further back. Try to keep our balance there. Keep our center of gravity low. Alright, it's fair enough. Good starting point to go with. And set our frame range from 0 to 48. Let's go ahead and grab everything. Make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. We'll go to frame 0 and we'll hit S on our keyboard and set our first key. Let's go ahead and save our file while we're at it as well. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014. For more information on that, check out the description below. And I always link to what I consider animation Bibles. So if you guys are looking for further reading material on animation, definitely check those out as well, because they can go in way more depth than I could ever do in an hour, and there's some great resources. So let's go ahead and build in a little bit of anticipation kind of a pose here. So let's go down, let's have it kind of rotate up to kind of look to where it would be going. Let's see. Look up there, and then go. I'll just set that for now. And where's that controller? We'll bring it down. Rotate it this way. Down. Set that. Set everything there. And we'll shoot that up here. And again, we're just kind of building our basics for what we want to do there. Go up here. Make sure the feet are coming with me. I'll drag them down as well. Let's see. Keep the feet planted. Yeah, and we're just kind of doing a rough pass to get our timing and our overall shot idea working. So overshoot that a little bit. Go back down. Bring the feet down again. A little bit of recoil there. for this, so let's go 90. Might be less, but we'll keep that for right now. And then we'll go over. I'll go up a little bit. Have it look down. Maybe hoist the feet up a little bit. Up a little bit more. And then we'll drop down. Rotate that up. Bring that. Those feet actually, so they make contact here. Hips down. Do something like that. And I'll overshoot that and bring it down here. And then back up here. Back down. Rotate X. I think we might push this foot back a little bit. And go ahead and set that there so we don't get that slip. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it overall, and then we'll tighten up our posing and our timing and everything from there. So let's go ahead and save our file, and I think we got something okay. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing here, I want that to be a little bit faster on the recoil. Let's watch that now. It can still be soft. I want it to feel like it's actually... I think I want to cut out about a frame from here and a frame from there. So let's go ahead and save our file, and let's go into Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. And let's grab everything here. And again, we're going to cut a frame from here and here. So we've just got everything we want selected. And we'll take everything here. And actually where we need an extra frame is from here. So we'll take this, we'll push it over that way. And need to steal a frame from here, so I'll go ahead and do that as well. Now let's take what we have at 8 and 10 and give me about 2 frames each for this. So this is actually can hold, and we can register that he's looking up. Again, we'll probably need to give about 6 more frames for that, but we'll just start off with 2 and kind of see where we're at. About 3 more frames here. And that'll push us back to about 104. Yeah, it's probably a little too many, but we'll see. Okay, again, I want to do an extra frame there, an extra frame on the other side. And let's do about 2 more in the beginning. Let's see. Give myself another frame on each side here. into that position a little faster. And give me about 4 more frames of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop. We need to get these feet going here. Set that. We want them to drag, but we also want them to stay connected there. Maybe I'll adjust the height here, set that. And this we can go ahead and do 1 frame where the toes are just touching. So we get that little bit more movement there. Go ahead and bring that down there. Okay, let's watch that now. And I'll go ahead and let that one lift up a little more. Slip maybe a little too much. We want to keep them dragging there, but we also don't want to disconnect them. Let's look at that now. And let's take this pose. Look at the translate lines here on both of them. Or actually go for another frame. There. It's a little bit slower there. Let's look at that. Push it 1 frame sooner. Push that down a little. Push that back up. Let's see. So you get a little bit of recoil. Let's see. It's too far down. Let's have them drag here a little bit. Go and set that. Lead a little bit more so I get a little bit of looseness to those feet as they drag, and then go back a little bit. So it should be translate Z, I believe. And let them recoil a little bit more. So they overshoot a little bit forward and back. Let's see. Let's grab everything here. Let's like give me another frame there. Another set everything there. And I like where it is there, but let's delete this, delete that, delete this. Give me a couple more frames to hold that anticipation for going back down. Let's look at it now. It's a little better. Let's give me an extra frame on this side of it and an extra frame on that side of it. Let's see it now. I don't want something to be too much on ones here just yet. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at the translate Z here. Let's have it go about a frame later. Okay. It's close. Let's go back to what we had before. It should still be translating for another frame here. Okay, so let's grab everything there. Set that. Give me about 3 more frames there so we can hold that a little more. Give me about 4 frames in between that. Okay, let's go look at that now. Okay, now we gotta clean it up a bit more, but I think that's close to what we want. Let's translate these again here. Okay. Still need, I think, about 3 more frames here. This needs to be another frame sooner. It's just taking too long. Let's do something I don't always do. Let's get closer in on our frame range here because I feel like the timing is just not. I'm just futzing around with it. So I'm gonna just look at the frame range here on those feet. Give me a couple frames sooner here. Let's see. So give me about 2 more frames here. And probably about 2 more frames there. Let's look at it now. I'm just going to slow these down even more. Look at our spacing here. watch the whole thing now. Go from 125 and go from 0. Okay, let's watch it now. This takes too long, so let's go from 95 to 109. We'll cut out a lot of that here. So let's delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, and move a few frames sooner. Let's look at that. Again, probably cut it about 4 frames. And let's just do 3 for now. Let's go translate Y here. Still like it being a little more gradual as it comes down, but I'll probably go 1 frame sooner there. And let's look at the feet and make sure we lock the feet into place here. 128. How far do we go? Set that. I want that to hit at 116. Because there's no slippage. Let's look at, I think we want to do 1 more ease frame from here. So I'll give it a little bit more. Because otherwise we get that pop on the kind of the thighs or whatever. That way we get another frame to deal with it. That'll ease that a little bit more. We can still have that spring into action, but at least this way it's not. Okay, now let's look at the translate Y here. So I feel like this portion, the chest kind of dies off a little bit. So maybe we could let's see. Let's look at the translate Z there as well. Just so we get a little bit of overshoot there. Be a little less. A little bit of a recoil. Yeah, it feels a little better. Just so it's not so stiff there. And let's look at the rotate X there. Let's maybe drag that a little bit. text that I'm not liking there, which is fine. I can get rid of that. Or minimize it a little more. Okay, let's go ahead and save that, and let's do a little bit on this top gun here. Do a little bit of rotate down there, so it's gonna kick back. And drag a little bit here. Punch down. Drag it down more. And let it go up a little bit. Recoil. I want to drag it down there. Swing up. Back. Stay there. Do a little bit of drag up. Down. Back up. Okay. Got a lot of cleanup here to do, so let's take everything that I think is just a generic key and let's delete that. Let's go and look at how that is. Let's shorten the distance between when it's up to when it's down. And this could actually be further down here. Drag a little more. Could be getting close to that. Let's see. That feels a little bit looser. Let's go a frame sooner on that. Let's drag it down here. Let's go forward. let's just tone it down a little bit more. It feels a little heavy. A little more here. Just feels like it's too far forward, so let's try to find a good balance there. Because this other one, it doesn't feel like it's swinging, it feels like it's forcing it to go out. Maybe we'll go lower here. Maybe it's too slow. Let's push it forward a frame on everything. Now it's too far forward, so one frame back. Let's see. Slow it down a little. It's not that much there, but oh well. Maybe everything needs to be forward frame. What if it's a little better? Slow it down now. Go back. Let's bring that, still drag it even more there. That might feel better now. Feels like there's a little more weight there. I think this first one might be a little too much. There we go. Now it's starting to feel about right. And let's do a little bit on the arms. think I'm going to keep the arms fairly stiff, but I still want to do a little bit here. So let's grab both of those. Let's see. Let's drag them there. Swing them out there. Bring it in a little bit. Let's see. he's too long to be there, so cut that by about 2 frames. That needs to be back another frame. Hold that this way. And delay that a frame still. And I think I'm not going to do too much more on those arms. I want to keep them a little bit stiffer than I normally would, but I think I like that. Now there's one kind of, I think for right here, the translate Y on those needs to be a little bit lower. A little bit higher there. Let's look at where it is right here. A little bit higher. And let's look at this one. A little bit lower. Okay. Just so it's a little bit smoother, there's a little bit of bumpiness in those kind of thighs there. And let's do the feet. Do a little bit of rotate up on the feet. So there's a little bit of contact there. Alright, I think that works. Definitely we could get in and really break up those arms even more, but I kind of like every once in a while leaving certain parts, especially in robotic rigs, not really loosening them up too much, adding some parts that are really loose and then some parts that are a little stiff. It gives a little more of that mech kind of a feel there. So I think we'll go call that for today. Plus it's probably hit at least an hour or so already. So let's go ahead and turn our inner curves off. And let's save our file again. And let's go ahead and take a look at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Tom Fowler. And he said, I don't really care about trying to tailor my style to whatever someone thinks is more sellable. Hot, the house style of the day. I just draw what I draw, how I draw it. And I'm far happier now to do that. And again, it kind of harkens back to this main thing that we're seeing throughout a lot of different illustrators of learning the fundamentals, learning the things that are important. And then once you've grasped the way that you interpret those and the way that you understand those and the way that you present those, stick to your own style, stick to the things that make you uniquely you and that you can bring to the table that no one else can do, because that's what's going to draw people to something original, something new, something they haven't seen before, not just a carbon copy of someone else's style or work or anything. So stick to your guns, keep learning, keep growing each and every day. I love you guys lots. If you're watching this, you guys are the creative future. I totally believe in you. And I think that'll do it for today. Keep going, keep following your dreams, and we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.